Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and it has been a while since I have done just a good old, plain old-fashioned book haul for you. Now, recently I did do a rather long 2.5 hour video where I recapped my rather long 18-day, 15-state trip where I picked up over 100 books. I did do that, but that was, maybe something that quite a few of you didn't have the patience to sit through. So I still may do at least one short of one of the categories of books that I got just to kind of experiment with doing a video short and stuff, but that's not what this is. So I have shopped at a couple of library book sales recently, and as well as just at my local library off the sale shelves. And all of these are books that I have acquired since returning home from my trip, with the exception of maybe one of them, but now I can't think which one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just thought I would just kind of do a random book haul and show you what I have picked up in the last few weeks. So I haven't really even organized these very well, but I will show you what I pulled off of the book sale shelves at my local library just a few days after returning home. In fact, I had already picked these up whenever I did my big huge video, my ridiculously long video, and I think I even mentioned, yeah, I've already bought books since I've been home, but I'll add those to another book haul. Most of these are from a series, and they just were so beautiful there sitting on the shelf. They caught my eye, and I thought, oh, what are those? And I went and looked, and they are, I think, 2/3 of the Christy Miller series by Robin Jones Gunn. Now, I have never read any of this series. This is a teen or YA Christian-based series by Robin Jones Gunn that I believe she wrote back in the 90s. And I have read some of her adult books. In fact, 2 of her adult books that I have read are about Christy Miller and her friend group as an adult. I'm not sure where she grew up, what state these are set in, but I know that in the adult books, Christy has moved to California and she has a new group of friends, and she's not the main character in the series that I'm talking about. And now I can't even think what that series is. Haven Makers. So the Haven Maker series, there's only 2 right now. I thought she was going to maybe write more, but COVID happened and all of that. So hopefully she still will add to that series, because I really enjoyed both of those books. I think they're, one of them is Becoming Us and the other one is Becoming Known. If that's wrong, I'll put something here. If that's right, then we'll let that go. Anyway, I've been curious about the Christy Miller series. I believe it's a 12-book series, and this group here is 5 through 12, plus a companion book called Christy Miller's Diary. Now, I just happened to already own, prior to this, book 1. It doesn't match these. It's not as pretty, but this is book 1 of the whole series, called Summer Promise. I should perhaps read it before I go to a lot of work to try to find matching editions, or, any edition of books 2, 3, and 4. But at any rate, I've got book 1. I can read it, which is great. And now I have books 5 through 12. So this is book 5, Island Dreamer. And book 6 is A Heart Full of Hope. Don't have my glasses on. Let me make sure I'm reading these titles right. I tell you. True Friends is the next one. Then number 8 is Starry Night. Now, I do have another copy of Starry Night, but I'm going to put it in a little free library or something. It is not even as nice of a condition as this one, and it doesn't match the set. So we'll pass that on, and hopefully someone who may be looking for an edition of Starry Night will find it, and they'll be happy with it. So then this set is actually in a box, books 9 through 12. And these are published by Focus on the Family, this edition. Book 9, and the others as well. Book 9 is 17 Wishes. Book 10 is A Time to Cherish. Book 11 is Sweet Dreams. And book 12 is A Promise is Forever. So I'm really interested in reading these. Since they are for teens, you know, I don't know. My daughter is 19, but I doubt I'm going to be able to get her interested in reading these. But after I read them, or maybe because I'm always looking for things to do with Emily, she might enjoy them. You know, I might just start with book one and do a read aloud with my daughter Emily. And I've been wanting to kind of find things to read with her that are not animated cartoons and animated cartoon characters. Because I feel like now that she's 22, even though she's special needs and that's what she enjoys, I want to incorporate some real life, realistic things into her world of fiction and stories and things like that. So we've been reading the Caldecott Winners, and of course a lot of those books are realistic. It's a mix, but I'm just looking for other ways to enrich her life since she's really not able to go out and do anything on her own. So anyway, so that then I already showed you the Christy Miller diary. So if you have ever read the Christy Miller series, let me know what you thought of it, and let's just chat about that in the comments. So I think on the same day, I also decided to go ahead and pick this up. Now, it's kind of dog-eared a little bit, but this is the prequel book to the Kingsbridge Chronicles, which of course starts with Pillars of the Earth. I'm currently reading book 2 right now, World Without End. I believe book 3 is Column of Fire. I have a copy of it now, and I thought, you know what? I might not ever see this trade paperback edition that kind of matches. It doesn't really match, but it's the same size as the rest of my set. And I thought, just in case I don't find it in the next couple of years, I better just go ahead and get it. Now, if I find a better copy and I want to go ahead and trade it out, that would be wonderful. But at least now I have the series, because I couldn't hope to check out a book of this size to read in print from the library. I would be renewing it for months and months, because as we know, it takes me almost a year to read a book like this. Of course, I'm reading a lot of other stuff in between, but these big chunkers do take me a while to read at my pace. Okay, so then I did come back recently, and my local library where I bought all of these had a fill a bag for $1 book sale, and most of what I put in my bag, I didn't even really fill a whole shopping bag this time. They did not have nearly as many books, and I forgot to go the night before to help set up, so I didn't really get to shop at my leisure, but I got there the next morning, and I looked around, but it was pretty crowded, and I didn't see a lot of romances, so I just kind of went through and picked up a handful of things at the end of the day, and just, let it go at that. And most of what I got will be things that I will put with other book lots that I'm putting together for eBay. But the one book I did get that is a cozy mystery that I thought looked interesting, and I might give it a second look before I pass it on, is Murder with Darjeeling Tea by Karen Rose Smith. Have you guys ever heard of this? I have not heard of this to my recollection. And if you've read it, let me know what you thought of it. So then the rest of this haul is going to be from one library book sale that I think is probably the largest library book sale in the state of Florida. It is hosted by the Friends of Alachua County Public Library, which is Gainesville, Florida, which is where the University of Florida is. And this was only my second time ever going to that sale. The parking there is a trial. It really is. They don't even have handicap parking, because the only real parking lot that goes with that building, they block off completely. And so you are left to park on the streets far and wide, and no other businesses want you to park in their parking lot. And it's just a mess trying to find a parking space. So I ended up parking near a house that was being renovated. And there was a guy up in the second floor with the windows open, and he was like throwing stuff out the window. And I said, "Is it safe to park here?" And he looked down and he's like, "Are you going to that book sale?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "It's fine. I'll watch it." I'm like, "Okay, well, thanks." So the car was fine, and we only had about a block to walk from there. So that was good. But anyway, their pricing structure is dotted. They have dots on the back of each book, and I believe a red dot is $1, and then there's another color dot that's 75, and another dot that's 50, and another dot that is quarter. I think yellow is a quarter, green is probably 50. So you just go along and you know the prices by the dots. Now, I did notice some books were priced with actual price stickers this time, and maybe they ran out of dots. I don't know. But anyway, I went on half price day, so I didn't pay more than 50 cents for any book there. So I was able to get several books for myself to keep, as well as several books that I will resell. And then after I left there, I went to Second and Charles in Gainesville, and I found several books there. And then I went to another, actually two more independent bookstores, but I did not find anything at either of those stores that I purchased. Then I went by my second cousin's home on the way back here, and she gave me some books and some other things to resell that she was getting rid of. And she said, stop by, since you're going to be in the area, I'd rather just give it to you than take it to a thrift store. So I was like, okay, well, thank you. That's so nice. So she gave me some cookbooks and some other random things like that. So anyway, I got several cozy mysteries, and I got a few romances. I got some Christian books, some of the Guidepost books and things like that. So let's just get started. One of the first things I saw was 3 of these books by Effie Leland Wilder. Now, I have talked about these books before. If you ever see these books anywhere and they are a good price, if you've not read these are adorable. I highly recommend these books. Now, there are 5 total in the series. I have only ever seen a copy of book 5 one time at my local library, and when they weeded it out, I thankfully was able to grab it, and I own it. I have not ever seen book 5 anywhere else out in the wild. I think it was not as widely published as the first 4. But you see the first one, actually the first 2 around quite often. I don't have book 2 here. This is books 1, 3, and 4. The first book is Out to Pasture, but Not Over the Hill. And Effie Leland Wilder wrote these books. She started, I think this one was published when she was 85 years old. And she wrote the other 5 between the ages of 85 and 90 something. Then later on, she passed away when she was in her 90s. And these books are just adorable. They are set in her senior community, or her senior living home, called Fair Acres. And the books are about a fictitious woman named Hattie and her experiences living at Fair Acres, and the hilarity that ensues, the heartwarming storylines that continue throughout the books, and they are delightful. I wish that she had written books starting at a much earlier age so that we had more than 5 books from her to enjoy. But these 5 books are definitely worth picking up. Check and see if your library has them. This is the first one. You do want to read them in order, I think, and just enjoy them. They are delightful. Now, why did I pick them up when I own the whole set? Because I like to share them with people. I like to give them to people. And I love to chat about them with people. So anyway, the other 2 that I got are Older But Wilder and One More Time. I believe Older But Wilder is book 3 and One More Time is book 4. And then book 5 is called Oh My Goodness. Book 2 is I can't remember now the name of book 2, but anyway, they're delightful. I highly recommend them. If you ever find them in the wild or at any used book situation, then I recommend picking them up. I also found several Guidepost books from various series. Some are series that I have been reading or have read from. Some are series that I've been collecting, and some are series that I would love to read, but I just don't have room in my life and on my shelves to collect anymore. And so I have already listed some of those in my eBay store, such as books from the series called Secrets of Wayfarer's Inn. But I did find a few of the Amish Sugar Creek mysteries, and because I have listened to a few of these on audio, I decided to go ahead and hang on to these for now. Book 12 is Shoe Fly Shoe. It's by Amy Lillard, and these just look really cute. Book 20 is called A Play on Words, and that is by Emily Thomas. And then book 26 is Home Fires Burning by Elizabeth Adams. And I'm not sure how many there are in that series, but I've listened to maybe the first 4 on audio, whatever was available on Hoopla at the time. I need to look and see if any, any further in the series is available. I think at the time, the very last one, which maybe was book 24 or 25, was available on audio, and now I see I have book 26. So there's obviously more than that now, but it's like, why would they do 1 through 4 and then skip to the end? Let's get those in the middle. I don't want to skip to the end. Anyway, while we're talking about Amish books, I picked up a couple of Beverly Lewis books. I believe both of these are standalones. I have the Timepiece and the Tinderbox. I don't know anything about these. And then, let's see. Oh, one other Guidepost book that I think I will hang on to for now. This is a series that I have not been collecting. It's called Secrets from Grandma's Attic. This is book 2. And I want to say that somewhere in all my mess, I have a copy of book 1. So I'm going to hang on to this for now. It's The Art of Deception by Becky Melby. And the name of the series sounds really good. And that just looks right up my alley. So I'm excited about that one. All right, let's do Cozy Mysteries next. I have been collecting the Savannah Reed Mysteries by G.A. McKevitt in hardcover. So I was excited to find this one that I don't believe I have. It's called Killer Reunion. And if you've read the Granny Reed Mysteries, then the Granny Reed Mysteries are a prequel series to the Savannah Reed Mysteries. In the Granny Reed Mysteries, Savannah is a young girl who wants to be a detective, and so even though I haven't read any of these, obviously she must be a detective at this point. Even if she's just amateur, she must be a detective. And then I also picked up some paperback Cozy Mysteries. I have Mission Implausible by Krista Davis. This is part of the Paws and Claws Mysteries, I believe. And then I also have Arsenic and Old Cake. This is from A Piece of Cake Mysteries by Jacqueline Brady. And I've got a couple of these. I think I have book 1 and 2, and then maybe 4 or 5 or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what number this is. But anyway, I didn't have this one. And then I'm pretty sure I didn't have this one. Of course, we're reading a lot of the Jen McKinley books this year and on into next year for a read-along. This is one of the Hat Shop Mysteries called Fatal Fascinator. And then these, I'm not really reading these series. I have been collecting the Mom Zone Mysteries by Sarah Rosette, and this is one I didn't have. Milkshakes, Mermaids, and Murder. I have not started reading those, but I do have some of them. Because I'm always drawn to anything that says PTA, because I used to be a PTA treasurer, and I've heard about this one by Lee Hollis, Murder at the PTA. I decided to go ahead and grab that. And then I have not read any of the Bake Shop Mysteries by Ellie Alexander. This is On Thin Icing. I think I do own the first one. I'm not sure what number that one is, but it was a red dot, which means it would have been $1 on full price day, but I was there on half price day, so I got it for 50 cents, which is a great price. Then I also found The Black Echo by Michael Connelly. Now, I mentioned in my March and April wrap-up that I had read The Killing Floor by Lee Child because Storm from Storm Reads was doing that as a read-along last year. So I finally got around to doing that. So this, I think, was one of her read-alongs for this year, The Black Echo by Michael Connelly, because this is the first Harry Bosch mystery. I think I was able to check out a CD copy of it, but I didn't have time to listen to CDs. So now I have at least the paperback copy. I had been checking the bookstore where I work. We have a lot of Michael Connelly books, but we have not had this one. And I had kind of forgotten about it, and I was just looking through the book sale. I was probably 2/3 done or more, and I was looking through some older paperbacks, and I thought, oh, I need to remember to look for The Black Echo, and boom, there it was. So I was excited to find it. Then I went over and looked at their romance section, and they did not have a lot. In fact, I hardly found any love-inspired suspense there. I only found 2 love-inspired suspense books at the Gainesville sale, and they had gotten mixed in with the mysteries. So I think someone had come before me and cleaned them out of all the love-inspired suspense. So I didn't find any of the canine romances, but I do have this one sitting here, and I can't remember where I got it. But anyway, I'm glad to have this one. I may have gotten this one at 2nd and Charles when I went there after the sale, but this But this is Act of Valor by Dana Mentink, and it's from the True Blue Canine Unit series. So this may have been the last one that I still needed from that series. I'll have to double check my list, but I have been able to find almost all of those that I've been collecting. I found a couple more Marie Farrella books, one at the library sale and one at Second and Charles, and I went ahead and picked them up because I'm pretty sure I don't have these. Again, this is a series I've been collecting. Somebody gave me a start of them, but I have not read any of them. I am a little cautious that they may be out of my comfort zone as far as the steam factor. I don't know. But because someone gave them to me and they thought I would like them, I want to go ahead and try to at least find the first few books in the series so that I can start from the beginning. I suspect that this is one of those series that you really don't have to read in order, but y'all know how I am. I gotta read stuff in order. They are on ebook, so if nothing else, I can always read the first one on ebook and see how I like it before I, really continue actively to seek out all the books to fill in my series. But anyway, if I run across one and I don't have it, then I tend to go ahead and pick it up. And then that is all of the mass market paperbacks that I got. But I do have one other mystery, which I think would be considered a cozy mystery, and I'm not sure if I have this or not. I have some of these quilting mysteries by Arlene Sacatano, but I don't know if I have this one, and I went ahead and grabbed it. It's Quilt as Desired. I got this at the book sale. I did look around to see if there were any others, and I didn't see any more other than this, and it had a red dot, so I paid 50 cents, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get it, and even if it's a duplicate, I'll go ahead and send it to my sister. Then I did find this one that I thought was interesting. It's called The Puzzles of Amish Life. It's by Donald B. Craybill. So this is an Amish nonfiction book. You don't see a lot of Amish nonfiction, and I thought I would pick it up. Another nonfiction book that I got, I guess at the book sale. I'm looking to see, Second and Charles usually has their own tag, so if I forget, if I got it at Second and Charles, the tag will usually clue me in. But this, I'm sure, came from the book sale. It's called Veganist by Kathy Freston. My husband and my youngest daughter are both vegan, and so I got that for them. And then I wanted to find something good for one of my younger great-nephews, because I had already found some books to send his older sister, who is... she just turned 6, and he is turning 4, I think, at the end of this month. So, in the end, I decided on some Nate the Great books, and I found the very first one, which is Nate the Great. And Emily has a hardcover copy of this, so I may trade it out and give him more hardcover copies. Her copy's in really good shape too, that way, because it's going to be kind of a birthday gift, kind of a thank you gift for letting me stay with you for one night when I was on my trip. But anyway, Nate the Great and Me, The Case of the Fleeing Fang is another one. And Nate the Great and the Fishy Prize. And then Nate the Great Talks Turkey. So I got those for him. And I don't know. I didn't put these in any certain order, but we'll go ahead and do the books for younger readers. We'll continue with that before I finish up the other random things. I found another of the 39 Clues books that I don't think I've read. This is from the Cahill Files series. It's called Operation Trinity by Clifford Riley, and it's book 1 in this spin-off series of the 39 Clues. I have read all of the original series as well as 2 or 3 more of the spin-off series, and there are several spin-off series, and they're all really good. So I wanted to go ahead and grab that, especially since it's book 1. I mentioned this in the Middle Grade March collaboration as my recommendation for a futuristic or science fiction book. This is Cleo Porter and the Body Electric by Jake Burt. This is a really good middle grade book, and I read it because it was a Sunshine State book last year, and I highly recommend it. And I didn't have a copy of it, so I just thought I would grab it. I may not keep it forever. I may put it in a little free library. I may share it with someone. I don't know, but I saw it there, and I thought I'm just going to grab that. And then because I picked up a couple of the Gallagher Girls series on my trip, I had originally intended to give them to our bookstore owner's daughter, who has a copy of book 2, and I thought I was buying book 1 for her, but it turned out I was buying book 2 and 3. And so then in the end, I found a paperback copy of book 3, which matched the one she already had of book 2, and I ended up keeping books 2 and 3 in hardcover, and then I found book 6 in hardcover. So I'm just going to go ahead and collect the series in hardcover. I gave her the other book that that goes with hers. I'm going to continue trying to collect her a set in paperback, and I'm still on the hunt for book 1 for both of us. So hopefully I'll be able to find those pretty soon. And I think I got this at the book sale. I'm always hearing good things about Terry Blackstock, and especially this Christmas book. It's called Catching Christmas. And, you know, I didn't realize for a long time that that's a toy car. I don't know, because you can't really tell. It just looks like it could be a car on the road, but I've heard other people say that it's like a toy car, and I was like, oh, is it? Okay, well, you know, there's nothing else really here to put it in perspective, so maybe it is. I don't know. And then while we were at the sale, Emily was with me, and she picked up a couple of books, and so, of course, you know, I was not going to drag her to a book sale and not let her pick something out. So she picked this one up, The Shaking Bag. It's by Gwendolyn Battle Levert. And I haven't really read it. I haven't read it to her yet. It's just been sitting here waiting for me to do this haul. And she also picked this one up. This is kind of a little vintage piece, and we will definitely read it and look at it. And if it's got much resale value, we might sell it. But anyway, this is Disney Children's Favorites Volume 1 Sing-Along Book. And I'm going to guess that these are the words that go along with a video, maybe. The songs that are on maybe video volume 1. I'm not sure. We've got a couple of those, but I don't think we have volume 1. Anyway, we'll look through that, maybe sing through some of these songs, and then, you know, we'll go from there. And I think that's everything that I got at the book sale that I want to show you. Now, I did get several other books to resell, and I'm not going to drag all of those in here because if I'm not going to keep them, then there's no point in, and if I'm not going to read them, then there's no point in me showing them to you. But I did pick this up in our local Little Free Library, and this looks really cute, and I do want to sit down and read this. This is called Make Yourself Cozy by Katie Vaz, a guide for practicing self-care. Now, I'm not really into the whole self-care movement that seems to be, you know, a topic of conversation in lots of videos and things that I watch and hear. But I do think it's important to take care of yourself. And there are certainly a lot of aspects of my own self-care that I need to do, like better diet and health and things like that. But this is more just about comfort, and you know, I pretty much make myself comfortable every morning when I sit down with my coffee to read my devotion and a little bit of fiction. And then, you know, I continue on about my day, and I think I treat myself pretty well. But this just looked interesting, and it looked cozy, and I thought it would be fun to take a look at it. So I picked this up, and at some point I will probably return it back to the Little Free Library for someone else to enjoy. A couple of other nonfiction books that I bought. These both came from Second & Charles. This one is called Bookstore, The Life and Times of Jeanette Watson and Books & Co. And I think I've heard of Books & Co. or Books & Company, but I don't know really anything about it. This was marked down to $2. It is by Lynn Tillman, and I just thought, you know, I work in a bookstore now. It sounds interesting. Then I thought this looked fun. How to Live with a Neurotic Dog by Stephen Baker. We definitely have a neurotic dog. You could probably classify both of them, but especially one of them. So, in case my daughter Katie's watching, I won't say which one because she would disagree with me. But anyway, they're fun dogs. And I don't think this actually might be a memoir. So this would be nonfiction. This title has been on my Scribd want to read list for a while. Ever since I saw this title, I was like, oh my goodness, this could have been my the title of my own memoir, because I grew up in a town called Bennington, but it's Bennington, Oklahoma. And let me just say, I wore my old-fashionedness proudly. So this is The Virgin of Bennington by Kathleen Norris. This, I think, is about her life at Bennington College in Vermont. My hometown, Bennington, Oklahoma, was named for Bennington, Vermont, and I'm curious to read it. I'm sure that I'm not going to identify with anything other than the cover or the title, but, you know, I had to get it. I saw it on the clearance shelf at Second and Charles for $2, and I had to get it. So that is it for this book haul. Thank you so much for watching. I will have some other things coming up soon in future videos, but for now, that's all I have for today. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.